Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. 2018 Fireballs here, back with another MLB 9 Innings 25 video. And this time around, we're on our Astros team. But before we get into the Astros team, like we did in the last video, and we'll be doing for the next several videos, we're going to continue looking at the new 2025 signature cards that were added to the game just a few days ago. By the time this video comes out, at least it should be a few days ago. But we're doing the AL Central today, so let's hop straight into it. Got quite the amount of cards to review, so let's start off with the Twins here. And we have Byron Buxton as their only batter. Finally, Byron Buxton was healthy enough to play almost a full season, or the fullest season that he's played so far in his career. 70 base overall, 82 base power, 64 eye, just a little bit low on that eye, 72 contact. I think he may have struck out quite a few times this season, a little more than average, but still a very solid card overall. This is his best overall sig now. He had a 2017 sig, or still has one, and that card is like less than a 70 base, so this is a refreshing thing to get a really good Byron Buxton card for any of you Twins teams out there. 35 homers, 24 stolen bases, and a 264 average, 126 games played. I think that's the most games he's played since 2017. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Byron Buxton finally healthy enough to get a full season in worth a signature card in this game, so really nice to see him. Then for the pitching side, only two pitchers, one really good one and one just, why did they add him? Anyway, Joe Ryan here, 2025 is the starting pitcher that they gave them. Could have been a different team if he got traded at the deadline. My Red Sox were supposed to get him, but they didn't. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's my saltiness kicking in. 194 strikeouts, 3.42 ERA, and a 13-10 record. 31 games played, well deserved for Joe Ryan. I believe he has at least one other Twin sig, but this one I think is his best overall card, so nice to see him get an upgrade for this year. And then the only relief pitcher they got for the Twins is Cole Sands. 63 base, 4.5 ERA, 64 strikeouts. Now, the Twins weren't particularly good this year, but I feel like they could have just let Cole Sands slide and not given any relief pitcher sigs. Because as a Twins team, personally, I would not want this card. If you compare all of the signature cards as far as relief pitchers go, Cole Sands is not something desirable by the slightest. He is the worst overall relief pitcher now for the Twins. Emilio Pagan was the most recent worst card. He had a good season though. And Sands here, just the odd man out, I guess. The only option, the best option that Comtois had to give signature to. And if we look at the other cards by year here, yeah, there was really no other option to give a relief pitcher card to. If we look on the right side of the screen, you got Sands, Topa, Funderburk, Mike Tonkin, and then that's it. Barely any relief pitchers for the Twins. They either got injured, didn't play, or were traded. 4 relievers, and not even a closing pitcher, which is pretty sad. The Twins really did a fire sale at the end of, or the middle of the year. They got rid of Johan Duran, so he was their closer, but nobody replaced him. And then all the starting pitchers, less than 70 base besides Joe Ryan. So I think they made the right call for the starter, but for the reliever, I feel like they just could have left him out and not given any relief pitcher sig. But Twins teams, if you're out there, let me know what you think about those cards. Moving on with the new players, next we're going to look at the Detroit Tigers. Now, a little bit of controversy with their batters. We'll get into that though. Here looking first, we have Dylan Dingler. 67 base overall catcher, 70 base fielding is really nice. There are not that many catchers for the Tigers. There are several, but Dingler here I believe is middle of the pack, if not the best fielder. We can check that after when we see all the cards next to each other, but the hitting stats really don't matter. It's that fielding that's really nice at 70 base overall. And then a questionable decision in my opinion, Gleyber Torres 2025 gets a signature card for the Tigers. Tigers don't really need more second base sigs. They have several. But Gleyber Torres, I don't think had the best season out of all the other batters that the Tigers had this past year. So we'll get into that. Let's look at the last pitchers for the Tigers though. And here they made the right calls on the pitchers, I believe. Tarek Skubal, 2025, your Cy Young Award winning on the American League side. Pitcher, 75 base overall. It's basically the exact same card as his 2024 actually. Very slight difference. The fastball is higher on this, or lower on this card, and the break is higher, and then the stamina is just a little bit lower, I think, or a little bit higher. Just very small tweaks here and there to this card. He had more strikeouts than last year, less wins, but still a better ERA, a better overall season as far as WAR goes, I'm pretty sure as well. So very nice Tarek Skubal, another great card. This matches the best card for the Tigers in the game, so a better opportunity for Tigers teams to get Tarek Skubal with two amazing cards for him from 2024 and now 2025. Then the closing pitcher here, or only relief pitcher, is Will Vest. Love the card art. I love it when they get the picture of the guy all hyped up and walking off the mound screaming or something like that. Really enjoy this card art. 66 base and 3 ERA, 23 saves, 75 strikeouts. Now, if we look at the Tigers' options for pitchers, I think they made the right call. Jack Flaherty, you could have argued, gotten a SIG. He had a 70 base overall, but when you look at the stat line, not a pretty stat line to give a card a SIG. So why he got a 70 base overall is a perplexing thing to me. I think it's because of the high strikeouts and the consistency at 31 games played throughout the year. He didn't get injured a lot, so a high base overall, but I'm glad they didn't give him a SIG. He would have gotten a SIG for the Tigers last year if he didn't get traded to the Dodgers, but I think it's a good choice not giving him one because it's a 70 base. 70 base is like average for a starting pitcher, so glad they didn't give him that. You could have argued Casey Mize as well, but Casey Mize has a better signature from 2021 at a 70 base overall, or it might actually be the exact same base overall. He had a lot of wins, not a high total of strikeouts, but a decent ERA and a good amount of games played. But he already had a 69 base SIG in this game. You could argue that, well, maybe you could help him out here and give him another SIG so that it's easier to get him if people want that for their Tigers teams. But this card on velocity is lower than the other signature that he has, and just it's another mediocre SIG like Jack Flaherty. So I think it was a good thing that Comtos didn't give him one. Chris Paddock did not have a good year. Like I said, Tarek Skubal perfect. You could have argued for Tyler Holton here to get a SIG, 65 base, but he does already have two better signatures for the Tigers from 2023 and 2024. This season also wasn't as good as those two as far as his stats go. Good amount of games played like the other seasons, but the ERA is higher, strikeouts are lower, and yeah, I'm glad I think it's a good decision they didn't give Holton a SIG because he already has better cards. Kyle Finnegan is the only other justifiable card that they should have given a SIG in my opinion. It wasn't a dire need, but 65 base is okay. It's borderline, like you don't want anything below 65 base, but it's still good stats. 50 stamina is really good as well. And then 3 ERA, 24 saves, only 55 strikeouts though, so I can see why they cut him off. Had 56 games played, but the strikeout rate's low, and he's a 65 base card, and Will Vest was the best option at 66 base. Could they have given Finnegan a better overall? Yes, but the strikeouts I think are what held him back. Only 55 through 56 games. That's a strikeout per game. Not as good as some other cards, but for the batters, I think, or sorry, for the pitchers for the Tigers, I think they made the right call. You could argue here and there some other cards that should have gotten, would have gotten, could have gotten SIGs, but here we are with the batters now, and I didn't check out these cards until an hour ago. Riley Green had only a 67 base overall. I don't know if he struck out a lot or something, but that I is very low. 36 home runs, 258 average. Not a terrible season, 157 games played. He does have a 68 base SIG from the previous year, and his previous card from last year, if I can find it, 2024, had a higher I, better power, and contact. But he had less home runs. He had a higher average, but less games played. I don't understand the logic here with this one. He should have gotten at least a 69 base, 70 at max, I think. And this should have been another SIG card for him. 36 home runs is nothing to like pass up on. They should have given him a SIG. Now, Gleyber Torres here, 69 base, great second baseman. But I really don't think the Tigers needed another second base card. They had 3 already, Phillips, Easley, and Polanco, and they're all better than him. So I really don't see why they should have given him a SIG, or did give him a SIG. As far as Dingler goes, though, he is, as far as fielding goes, I think he's like middle of the pack, or he might even be the best. He is actually the best, so Dylan Dingler is a worthy card to get a signature because of his fielding. It's better than Avila and better than Noakes. But the rest, I think Riley Green should have got a card 100%. Kerry Carpenter should have had a higher overall as well. Only a 66 base, low I, just like Riley. Higher power, 130 games played, 252 average, and 26 home runs. A breakout season for him. Why didn't he get a SIG? Maybe the stats on this card don't show it. He probably had a good WAR. He had good OPS and OPS plus. I don't understand. I feel like Carpenter and Green should have gotten SIGs, and they should have not given Torres one. Zach McKinstry here, kind of an overall that is close to getting a SIG, and you could argue with them giving Torres a SIG, he arguably should have gotten one as well because of his 144 games played, 12 home runs, 19 stolen bases, 259 average, but thankfully they didn't give him one. But yeah, definitely Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter were the snubs here for the Tigers. So I'm sorry for you Tigers teams. Torque could have gotten one as well, but he does have a few better years overall wise. He did hit 30 home runs, but it would have just have been another filler for Torque because he has 2 other SIGs, I'm pretty sure, for the Tigers already. So yeah, Dingler, an excellent SIG for the batters. Torres, why? And I don't know. And then Riley Green and Carpenter, what on earth is Comtois thinking? All right, that's the Tigers. Moving on to the White Sox now. White Sox got no batters. Another team that got no batters. I believe this is the 3rd team we've gone over that has not gotten a batter or did not get a batter from 2025, and it makes total sense. We'll see when we look at the normal cards. But for pitching, they got 3 new pitchers, 2 relievers, and 1 starter. I think they made the perfect call for the White Sox here, so I'm not going to complain too much or say who should have or would have, but just plain up and straight, they gave the right cards, the right SIGs for this team, the White Sox that is. 70 base overall, Shane Smith, good enough ERA. He was their best pitcher overall. 29 games played, 7-8, 145 strikeouts. Good season, decent season overall for a bad White Sox team. And then you got Jordan Leisure here, a 66 base reliever. Nice to see it above 65. 3.9 ERA, 5-6, but 81 strikeouts. That's pretty good. And 68 games played gets him that. I think you have to have a certain amount of games played and strikeouts combined and whatever. The ERA is a bit high, but I do agree with them giving him a SIG at the 66 base. And then we have Mike Vasil right here, 250 ERA, 47 games played, but a high strikeout total for only 47 games played. So 66 base as well, another good reliever for the White Sox. And then looking at the batters, there were absolutely no good hitters. Only one that you could maybe say have gotten one is Miguel Vargas, but I don't think Miguel Vargas would have been a nice card to have. As a 3rd baseman and 1st baseman, this is not something you think of as a 3rd and 1st baseman. 16 home runs, 230 average, not good enough. Not good enough. Benintendi here, 65 base, but 20 home runs, 240 average, only 116 games played. He has a SIG or 2 already for the White Sox, and they're around the same overall. Benny has just not been a good player for the White Sox. He's been decent. He hasn't been that guy they paid for, though. So yeah, good decision for Comtois here not to give anybody a SIG. Sosa, only a 66 base. Majdroth, only a 66. Robert here has plenty other good years already, so no sense in giving him a SIG as well. Good stolen base total, but the home runs and the average just not there, and the games played is below league average, so good choice for them not to give any batter SIGs. And then just a brief look at the pitchers here. Shane Smith, only 70 base overall pitcher that was given for the White Sox, and all the other relievers really low overall. Martin here, a decent starter, but not quite good enough. But Leisure and Vasil, as you guys see in the middle of the screen, the best overalls out of all of the relievers for the White Sox. So nothing much to say there. White Sox, they basically got it pinpoint accurate. Now, moving on to the next AL Central team, Cleveland. Another team that got 0 batter SIGs. I've heard some people were upset about this because what about J-Ram? We'll get into that in just a little bit. For the pitching side, though, it's okay. It's decent. The only fun card I think that's in here is Cantillo. He has not gotten a SIG before, and this is his first ever SIG in the game. And 34 games played only, 3 ERA, and 108 strikeouts. I think he might have bounced in between the starting rotation and the bullpen. They gave him the bullpen card, though, instead of the starting pitcher card. That explains the high stamina. This card is more of a 66 base if you really want to look at it. Or if you base stat adjust, you can get a little bit more to the other stats. Take away 5 from stamina and leave with 54. But that's besides, that's just a side note. But Cantillo here, the only new card for, not the only new card, I shouldn't say that. The only new relief pitcher card as a SIG. Gavin Williams here, his first SIG in the game for the Guardians, 71 base. As far as Cleveland starting goes, this is middle of the pack, so it's nothing to get too excited about. He had a good year, 173 on the strikeouts, 3 ERA, 12-5 record, good amount of games played as well. Came up pretty clutch in that wild card series against the Tigers. Unfortunately, they didn't win that though, but he was very good throughout the season. and in the little postseason that they did play. And then Cade Smith here, who already has a SIG. This one is 67 base, the exact same as the one he got last year. Kind of a sluggish look on the face for the SIG art. I would not have wanted this picture to be my SIG card art. They could have done a bit better, Comtuous could have, but oh well, they gave him the photo they gave him. 2 ERA, well-deserved, 104 strikeouts, 76 games, 16 saves. Good for him since he had to fill in for Emmanuel Clase, who was removed from the game because of reasons that we will not speak about. But yeah, Cade Smith here, and these pitchers are decent overall. Now, for the reasoning not giving the batters SIGs, let's just go over this real quick. Jose Ramirez has 6 different signatures for Cleveland. He has 2016, 2017, 2018, 2021, and then 2024. He has 6 different SIGs already, and the card that he got for this year is amazing. 70 base overall. Lower on the fielding, yes, but the hitting stats are amazing. A third baseman, 30 home runs, 44 stolen bases. Totally SIG worthy. But just for the fact that he has so many cards for the Cleveland Guardians already, I think it's a good thing that Comtuous didn't give him another one. Because I think Cleveland teams are sick and tired of duping Jose Ramirez every single time. I've seen it happen with certain Cleveland teams on YouTube. If you guys, Slim Pete and other people that make YouTube videos with Cleveland teams, you know what I'm talking about. Also, Stephen Kwan here. He could have gotten a SIG. Why didn't he? He has a better 2023 and 2024 SIG. 2023, I believe, is a 69 base, and 2024 is a 71 base. This card is less than those two and makes no sense to give him another SIG that you could end up duping because he has better cards already. This is just would be a filler, and Comtuous I think has gotten a little bit better by not giving filler cards like they have in past years. Other than that, all the other batters were terrible options. Terrible options for Cleveland. Too bad Nolan Jones wasn't healthy, or healthier and better. He could have gotten a really good card, but everybody else just flat out didn't perform. So no Cleveland batter SIGs. But for the pitching side, I think the right calls were made. Some cards could have gotten other SIGs, like Hunter Gaddis here, but he was a lower overall this year, and he has a better card from 2024, so it makes sense not to give him one. Colby Allard here, who had a good ERA but didn't play a lot of games, could have gotten one, but 64 base again, not good for any Cleveland teams because a lot of Cleveland teams have good relief pitching already. Jacob Junis as well had a great season, a low strikeout total though, and a low base overall. So you could debate whether Allard, Junis, or Gaddis could have gotten higher overalls, but Cantillo being a new SIG and then another Cade Smith, I think were the right options for the Guardians. But let me know what you guys think. And then finally, the last team we'll look at today is Kansas City. They got 2 new batter SIGs and I believe 2 new pitcher SIGs. Let's look at the batters first here. Michael Garcia. He already has a different SIG, but this one is a better overall by about 4 overalls, I think. His older card is a 68 base SIG. This is a 72 base SIG, and as a third baseman with good fielding, this is nice to look at. It's also perfect for 5-tool training. That power is the lowest, and you want to train for good power, eye, and contact, and you can excuse me, you can do that with this card. 16 home runs, 23 stolen bases, 286 average, almost a full 162 games played, stopped at 160 right there. Well deserved for Michael Garcia. And then Bobby Wood Jr., who had another outstanding season. This is his tied for his second best overall card. If you want the best overall Bobby Wood, you're going to have to get 2024. This one, though, nothing to sneeze at. 73 overall. Another good 5-tool card. 68 base eye, the lowest stat. 295 average, 157 games played, 23 homers, 38 stolen bases. Not as impressive as last year, but still an excellent card. And then for the pitchers, there's actually 3 of them. And I believe all 3 of them are new SIGs for the Royals. They have never gotten a SIG for the Royals in the past. Noah Cameron, the first card here, 70 base. Borderline good stats across all. Could have been better with the ERA that he had. A low strikeout total, though, kind of held him back, and the low amount of games played, I think, held him back as well. But I think this was a good decision for Comtuous, giving him a SIG. Clark here, 2025. He's played a couple years with the Royals, finally gets a SIG for them. Has a good year, 65 base only. It's all right, not worse than some other cards, that is. 3.25 ERA, 44 strikeouts, a little bit low on the strikeout total, but he just got by with that ERA, I think. I don't think if he had a 3 ERA or a 4 ERA, if he had a 4 ERA, I don't think he would have gotten a SIG, but 51 games, 3 ERA, 44 strikeouts, I think is good enough. And then Carlos Estevez here, 66 base overall, not terribly high, but he had a lot of saves. I don't know if he led the league You can let me know in the comment section, guys, but this is the highest amount of saves that I've seen in the American League. 42 saves, 54 strikeouts, 2 ERA, and a 67 games played. That's pretty good. Now, looking at the other options that could have gotten SIGs for the Royals, if we go to the batters, I think the options were very clear. An argument could be made for Adam Frazier. Adam Frazier has a lot of SIGs for teams a variety of teams. And this one could have definitely gotten a SIG. 68 base overall, 267 average, 7 home runs, 8 stolen bases. I've seen worse years of Adam Frazier get signatures, but this one surprisingly didn't. I think Comptos finally caught on and saw that they were giving Adam Frazier way too many SIGs for different teams that he played mediocre seasons for, so that's a good thing. Now, Vinny Pasquantino here is the only card for the Royals that I think got robbed. 32 home runs, much like Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter. High home run total, high amount of games played, good average. Why didn't he get a SIG for this year? Well, I think the reasoning is his 2024 card, if we take a look at it, is 1 base overall higher. Why? I don't know. He had less games played, less home runs, and a worse season overall. What Comptos was thinking with giving him a 67 base beats me. But he should have at least gotten a 68, a 70 base max. But they didn't give him that. And it's just pathetic. I think they should have done that for him, but they didn't. And Maikel Garcia, Bobby Witt are the only other good batters. You could have argued for Mike Yastrzemski. 69 base, had an outstanding run with them down the stretch after he got traded to them, but the final stat line, he just didn't perform as well in the beginning of the season, so it kind of held him back from getting a better stat line, but he still got a decent base overall. Royals don't really need many outfielders because they already have that covered with a lot of other players, but for the batters, Vinny Pasquantino, I think, was the only card that really got robbed. Maikel Garcia, well-deserved, and Bobby Witt Jr., well-deserved. And then for the pitching side of things, let's finally take a look at this. For Kyle Bubic, 69 base, didn't perform as well as the last year, not based on the stats, but as far as the games played and the longevity that he had last year. He was really good, but he just didn't play a lot of games or as many games, and he got a lower base overall for that, so not getting a SIG for this year, I think, is the right call. He had a better overall for the last year anyway, and this being a worse overall, I think is safer to not give him a SIG than to give him one, and I think Comptos made the right call there. Michael Wacha as well, 69 base, much like Bubic, but he has a better 71 or 70 base overall SIG from last year. So again, the same reasoning with Wacha here, I think, fits. And then you also have Seth Lugo, same story. 69 base, has a better card from last year, better stat line. The Royals do need more pitching, to be quite honest, but to give them mediocre cards, I think Comptos did them well here by not giving Wacha, Bubic, or Seth Lugo SIGs, and then going with Noah Cameron. Could they have given Bubic a higher overall? Yes, but he only played 20 games, so I can understand their reasoning. Then you also have Kolek right here, but didn't play enough games. Wasn't good enough. Didn't play nearly enough. Then Cole Reagans here was also injured, so he didn't get a lot. Hunter Harvey, surprisingly, was a former national, played for the Royals, was injured for a while. 65 base, though, 0 ERA in 12 games. Not good enough to get a SIG, but just a shout out to him right there. The only other card that probably should have or could have gotten a SIG besides Clark and Estevez as far as overall goes, Lucas Erceg. But the thing with Erceg is he does have a better SIG already for the Royals. And is it a better stat line? They're actually pretty similar. He just didn't get a good base overall, probably because of the low strikeouts. So everything else, though, I think Comptos got right. Certain things controversial, other things what the heck, what are they doing? But let me know what you guys think. In the next video we'll cover the American League West and move on from there. But that does it for the new signatures for the American League Central. We're here with the Astros team today, and we have grade increase candidates. As you guys may remember, in the last video on this team, I did a collaboration with ABT. Shout out to him and appreciate him for spending time with me on this team, opening packs. I have changed a few things. As you may notice, Dallas Keuchel here, I bought the outstanding skin for him. He is out of the game, got his Cy Young Award winning SIG gear a long time ago, and I got a new skill set on him. It's one level higher than the older skill set that I used to have on him, which is kind of depressing. I wish it were a 3-3-3 or a 3-3-2, but I got a 3-2-2 instead. it's all right. I trained him over again, high left side and 5 stamina. I love this trainers are also skewed to the left with boss and dominant pitcher and slow starter, so really enjoying the new skill set and new card art and look to him. But for my SIG candidates, I have Ronel Blanco and Yusei Kikuchi here, who I pulled in the last video. Ronel Blanco is the better SIG, 1 overall point higher than Kikuchi if you do all the math, but I noticed after I finished recording the last video, they are the 2 worst SIGs for starting pitchers that you can get for the Astros, and that was just kind of a bummer. I thought they were like middle of the pack, but the Astros pitching is so good in this game. 71 base is actually mediocre. For a lot of teams, this would be above average, but for the Astros, it's their worst, which is saying something about Astros pitching in the last 10 years. We also got this dupe Justin Verlander. I would craft today, but if we pull a dupe, but I don't have the time, or not the time, I don't have the right time in club. I have 5 more days until I can club craft another team's signature. So if we do pull a dupe, we'll have to wait until the next Astros video, probably next year, as December rolls into January, which is crazy. It's been such a quick year with this team and with all my teams, but let's get into it now. We have 8 SIG player packs, 1 special SIG player pack, and then a 3,000 star SIG player pack. Let's pop these packs open here. 13 silvers. Not looking really for any primes anymore. Really, I'm hoping from the SIG packs to get Nolan Ryan for my Rangers team and for my Astros team is the ultimate starting pitcher now. Still would want Garrett Cole. Haven't gotten him. I have his normal card in the lineup, but I really don't see myself getting that lucky. If you guys have watched my previous Dodgers video that I posted a few days ago, oh man, what... I can't explain that by any mind of my own. All I can say is that I'm blessed, and it's not just luck. I'm thankful for the blessings that God has given me, and I don't deserve this. People have been telling me I've been getting crazy luck, and in fact, luck is a loose term that I use. All my blessings and all the things that I get in here come from God and God alone, and I have to say that and say the truth, because it is. That's what it is. God has blessed me with so many good cards throughout all my teams, and there's no really other reasonable way that I can explain it. The algorithm come to us, you can say it's all rigged and hacked, but in the end, it all boils down to God, and I just have to put that out there, because so many people ask me, how do you get so many good cards? And I really have no explanation. It's you could say luck of the draw, but in the end, God is in control of everything. He's sovereign, and he's blessed me so much with so many good cards across all my teams that most people don't even sniff, like can't even get close. And I don't say this to make myself better than you guys. I'm not better than you guys, but I've just been blessed, and I'm thankful for that. Anyway, I just had to put that out there and say that because it's been a question recently as far as comments go. And the last several videos have been insane, but vintage player packs here now, opening them up. No Astros out of the first 8. I'm not sure where I got so many vintage cards from. I don't know if there was an event or something where we got vintage player packs, but I've had quite a lot in the last several videos on a couple teams. Doug Jones there already have his SIG, so wouldn't need to use that at all for anything. We have a lot of space left. Let's pump these out, and let's do Ultimate Team selective packs now. The only Astros legend that I would need now really is Jeff Bagwell. I don't know if there's any other Astro... Craig Biggio. I almost forgot about Craig Biggio. I'd love to have him too. I'm still hunting for Jose Altuve, by the way. I can't believe I haven't pulled Jose Altuve. For the longest time, I remember on my Dodgers team, I was evading Clayton Kershaw. But now on the Astros team, I think it's more crazy on this team, because I've had this team for... not a little bit longer, but I've been making videos on this team for a little bit longer, and I still, after 3 or 4 years, have not gotten a Jose Altuve Astros SIG. I haven't even gotten his worst year. So even if I got his worst year, I would still use that for crafting. I have his prime in the lineup right now, and it's not bad. I have 5-tool player on him. He works really well. He's got chance maker, so he's a great 2-hole hitter. But the day that I pull Jose Altuve, when will that be? Could it be today? Could it be tomorrow? Who knows, but hopefully it's soon, because Altuve has been waiting to be pulled for years on end, and I'm not being sarcastic or exaggerative when I say that. It's been years on end that I've been waiting to get an Altuve SIG, and he's one of the few positions that I need left. I could also use first base. I could use Bob Watson, Bagwell, of course. I have his normal Diamond Vintage in the lineup, and he has really insane stats for being a normal card. He reaches above 190 power alone with just his regular boost and trainers, which is something that you wouldn't be able to say 3 years ago before trainers and a lot of other good things that were added to this game, but it's possible now. Hoping to get the SIG eventually though. But alright, I have a lot of team selective primes. We're not going to do those. Let's do the team select diamonds here. And let's see if we can foreshadow any team SIGs that we'll pull. If I don't pull any good starting pitcher SIGs or any better batter SIG to grade increase, I will just go ahead and grade increase Ronel Blanco and put him in place of my Garrett Cole. Almost forgot who I had in the 5th spot. Good Christian Javier though. Good relief pitcher year. I don't think he got a SIG for that year, but let's continue on here, getting into the really good stuff now. SIG player packs. If I get another team SIG, no words. We get a diamond. What a way to kick it off. I've gotten a diamond team SIG here before on the Astros team. You guys remember my first ever webcam video? Yeah, that was insane. Let's pop this open. Can we get another Astro? No, we get Tarek Skubal. 69 base Tarek Skubal. This is not a great year. This is his worst year, if I'm stating that correctly. But pretty cool. Diamond SIG right there. Don't see that every day. We don't have enough mileage for a mileage SIG, but we will do combos. So let's knock out the special SIG player pack like we did last time. And let's see if we can get any Astros. I'm going to try and open these all at the same time. I just learned this. ABT apparently does all 3 very fast. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Any Astros? No Astros. Okay. We do get a Seattle Mariner, though. Would like that on my Mariners team. Decent Ryan Yarbrough from 2019. Believe his 18 is better for the Rays. And then an Al Leiter, 73 base card. Sorry, Super Pat, for pulling another Met. I know I didn't pull one in the last video, but there's your Met for you. All right, 8 remaining SIG player packs. No diamonds. Let's see if we got any Astros cards. Let's start on the top right here. First silver of the day. Miguel Sano, 2017, 65 base. I think his 2019 is better. Is he playing for the Angels? I don't know how long he's going to be in the game for, but an okay Miguel Sano. Better at DH if you're going to use him as a Twins team. Left of Sano, Francisco Lindor. Best year, pretty sure. Best year Lindor from 2018, 73 base. His 2019, I think, is a 72. And then 17 and 16, I believe, are not as good. So sorry to you Cleveland teams that need him. Let's go bottom right silver next. Yandy Diaz 2022, our second Tampa Bay Ray. Again, guys, I've said this in the past. Rays SIGs are not easy to get, so we've pulled 2 already. That means we can definitely get an Astros card. Left of Diaz, we get a Brian Wilson 66 base. Where's the beard? I have no beard to fear with this Brian Wilson. On the backside I do, but for some reason this profile he's missing his beard. I feel like they should change that for Giants teams. Let me know, Giants fans, what do you think about that photo? All right, bottom right gold, we get a Seller from 1969 for the Baltimore Orioles. Mike Seller, 73 base starting pitcher. Our second 73 base card so far. 3 more golds remaining. Let's do the top and then work our way to the bottom. Third Tampa Bay Ray, my gosh. 72 base Jeffrey Springs, his only SIG with them. Really good base stat adjust, or not base stat adjust, but base stat distribution with the grade increase because of that low stamina. Rays teams, sorry about that. All right, let's do the top gold next. Come on, Astro. No, we get a Rocky. Nate Jones, 2023, before he was traded to Cleveland. 2020 season, not the 2020 season, but a 20 homer and 20 stolen base season. 297 average, only 106 games played. Okay, and the final SIG on the bottom left is a Devin Mesoraco, 68 base, great fielding catcher, good for Reds teams, high home runs too. But now we're on to SIG combos. No team SIG so far, so nothing to debate about whether on grade increasing or not. So let's see if we can make that change here. Going by type, we have a couple diamonds to combo. I think maybe just Conforto and Skubal, but let's do silvers first. Sano, Wilson, and Diaz. First one of the night. What do you know? It's another 71 base overall starting pitcher SIG. Let me compare that. You know who was the 3rd worst starting pitcher for the Houston Astros besides Blanco and Kikuchi? It's Hunter Brown. That is funny. That is funny. Is he better than Burnell, he's not. Actually, he's not. They're the exact same base overall, as if you're subtracting the fastball and then the velocity. He only has 2 worse velocity. He has 2 better fastball. Blanco, technically, as far as the left side of his base stats go, is still the better card. That is crazy. Brown got a better card for this year as well. We haven't looked at it yet, but I might not use that Hunter Brown. So we got another Astro, but it's mediocre. It's mediocre. So we'll wait. Can we get another Astro before we debate who to use the grade increase on? Next combo, we get a Ryan Walker, another 2024 card. We seem to be pulling a lot of 2024 cards in this video. He didn't pop up in chat. Let's check him in the collection or in the player reserves here. The best relief pitcher for the Giants, I'm pretty sure base overall wise. Great card from last year. He sadly didn't perform as well in 2025, so that's his only SIG year as today stands. 3 more combos at least, I think, so let's get it on. Rocky, Giant, and a Ray. Let's do it here. 3, 2, 1. We get Barry Larkin. Pulled him in the last video. Really don't care if I look at him or not, because you guys saw him in the last video. So, last gold combo here. 3, 2, 1. We get Cole Reagans, 2023, and we talked about him earlier in the video. Good year for him. Low on the stamina for a starting pitcher, but the base stat adjustment is all right. Definitely not a workhorse guy. Not his best SIG overall, I'm pretty sure. I think 2024 has much better stats. But all right, Conforto, Reagans, and Skubal. What will this last one give us before we grade increase somebody? 3, 2, 1. Ooh, we get Jacob deGrom. Wrong side of Texas, man. Wrong side of Texas. 73 base overall starting pitcher. The newest starting pitcher for the Rangers. There are a couple other Rangers starting pitchers that got added. We'll look at them in the next video, though. This one's amazing. Congrats to Jacob deGrom on winning the comeback player of the year as well for that season that he had. But we do get a new team SIG. It's unfortunately another mediocre starting pitcher. Let me look at the collection. I'll be right back, and let me think about who I should grade increase here realistically. Okay guys, here's where I'm at. So I'm not going to grade increase anybody today, and let me explain why. So if I were to get my ideal top 5 starting pitchers for the Astros in the rotation as signatures, they would be Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Mike Scott, Nolan Ryan, and of course right now I have Dallas Keuchel. Everything else is a lower overall, and that's kind of crazy because if I didn't have Keuchel, every card that I could possibly get every single starting pitcher in my rotation to be 75 base and above, which is something that any other team in this game, or many other teams in this game, don't have the possibility of doing. So I'm shooting for the stars. I know it may sound kind of stupid not grade increasing a card right now, but I think in the long run, if I just be more patient, because Hunter Brown and a lot of these guys down below at 71 base are all right, but when you look at the best, there's even better here. I can get Colin McHugh, Charlie Morton, Christian Javier. This new Hunter Brown here is 74 base, and I have a lot of better options. So I know I can't craft today, but I'm thinking in the next Astros video, I'm definitely crafting Hunter Brown and my Justin Verlander that I duped. I will save Ronel Blanco and Yusei Kikuchi. Eventually, I may end up crafting them, but I want the best of the best as far as starting pitchers go for this Astros team. And it just means that I'm going to have to endure having my normal Garrett Cole and my normal or my prime Charlie Morton and my normal Mike Scott for just a little bit longer. And patience is a virtue, guys. Good things come to those who wait, and that has been a testament of my entire 9 innings career. The longer you wait, it may seem arduous, it may seem monotonous, but you'll get better things as you be patient. And it may not come quickly, it may take a long time, like I've been waiting for Altuve, but I think it's the right call. I'm not going to grade increase a low base overall card for an Astros starting pitcher, and we are going to wait until next time. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you guys for watching this all the way through. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, or not other channels, but the other MLB 9 innings YouTubers that are in my description box. They're not my channels, but they belong to other fellow YouTubers, and they make really good content. And I know you guys would enjoy their content, and they would really appreciate your guys' support. So please feel free to check them out. Also, feel free to check out my social media platforms. I have Discord, Reddit, and Instagram, and those links will be in the description box as well. But again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this MLB 9 innings video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless you all. Jesus loves you guys, and don't forget, he died for your sins, and if you believe on him, he'll save you from your sins. With that said, I'll catch you all in the next video.